Hello, my name's Brett Davies. I'm a barrister and solicitor. Well, let's build a power of attorney. Now, with your will, that starts when you're dead. But with your power of attorney, it starts right now if you want it to. So let's begin. So I'm on the law firm's website and I'm going to go to estate planning. Hundreds of different documents, but I want an enduring power of attorney. There's medical, we'll do those another time, but let's do enduring powers of attorneys. They do with finance and money. So I can have a look at, let's say I want to do a Queensland power of attorney, I can look at the samples. I can also see the checklist, but I'm going to go straight into it. I'm going to produce a New South Wales power of attorney. Very similar rules in all jurisdictions. So there is the sample document that you can see before you begin building it. You can see what you're going to get. Now, the other nice thing about powers of attorneys is that you can, if you make a mistake, email us and we'll give you a voucher to do a new one. So let's start building. Now, the jurisdictions are different in every state. We're a state-based country. And I'm going to start the enduring power of attorney, which is generic for all states. We're an Australian law firm, as you can hear from my accent, and we'll get the choice of jurisdiction as to which state you want. First name. So make sure you've got the full name. In this case, it's John James Ho. The date of birth is back, oh, no one's that old. Make it 57. 1st of May. And the address is 1 Sandy Bay Road. In Sandy Bay. The great state of New South Wales. Now, obviously, I could, if I wanted to, build a power of attorney for New South Wales when I live in Victoria. Now, in this jurisdiction, I promised I'd pick New South Wales. I've changed my mind. I'm going to make a Victorian power of attorney. Now, so this power of attorney will work right through Victoria, but if I also have property in South Australia and New South Wales, I'd need to make 3 powers of attorneys, because wherever you've got land, you need to have a power of attorney in that jurisdiction. Now, I'm going to make it my wife. So I'm going to put in my wife is Muriel May Davies. Actually, and she lives 45 Curtin Road in Hobart, in the great state of Tasmania. So there's my wife. So I'm giving a power of attorney to my wife. But when does it start? Do I want it to start right now, or do I want to make it start at a later time? Before that question comes up, I have the right under Victorian law, because we're reducing a Victorian power of attorney now, to have substitutes. And I am going to take it up because I have a child. I have one child, and I'm going to get him to the substitute after his mum, if his mum can't do the work. And his name is Andrew Philip Smith. And he lives in Andrew Resort in Brisbane. In the great state of Queensland. So I'm still doing a Victorian power of attorney. Now, I've got my wife, and I have a substitute being my child, so my wife can't do the job. Now, do I want the power of attorney to come into effect when I'm only of unsound mind, or should I come into effect immediately? Now, I pretty much trust my wife. I trust my wife a lot more than I trust the government. So I'm happy to have my wife do the job immediately. And most mum and dads will opt to have immediately. And I'll do that as well. Now, many of the people that build legal documents on our law firm's websites are accountants, financial planners, and lawyers. And if they've done, I've sold over 16,000 self-managed super funds, 18,000 family trusts. So people have done hundreds of different documents. So you might want to put a reference in. Daniel Nagawala, one of our lawyers here, and there's my job number. And I want that on every page. Also like to have my own, if I'm an accounting house, I've got my accountant's logo loaded up there. It'll still be legal consolidated. Now let's have a look at the summary page. Yeah, date of birth's right, the address is correct. My name's John James Ho. Jurisdiction's fine. Victorian power of attorney is what I'm doing. How many people? One. There's my wife. There's my son. Come into effect immediately. I'm ready to lock and build. So I'm going to press lock and build. And I'm going to put my credit card details in. I'll just put them in secretly so you don't see what they are. So I have now purchased my document, and at the moment the document's being built, and it's being built online. So it takes about 8 or 9 seconds for the document to be built. Let's now open the document. It will also be emailed to me. And there it is, my enduring power of attorney by John James Ho to my wife, with a backup to or substitute for my son. Comes into effect immediately, fully compliant, and there who can witness it under our law firm's logo, and there's a covering letter. Now it's important to note you're on a law firm's website here, so you are actually you're a client of the law firm and protected by our law firm's professional indemnity insurance. Law firm professional indemnity insurance attaches to this document. Legal professional privilege. You can also ring us anytime and get legal advice. And there it is, and it's signed by a partner law firm, signed by me. So there it is. You've just created for your client a Victorian enduring power of attorney. Now you can ring us anytime. We can help you as much as you need. Just telephone us if you need a hand with anything. We'll be happy to help. Thank you very much for building your legal documents at Legal Consolidators website.